Hi everyone, and welcome back to another I'm a Celebrity live chat. Today we've got me, I'm A Celeb, TV features writer for the Mirror Online, and we're joined by, well, she's the queen of the Ladbrokes Castle. It's Jess O'Reilly.
You're too kind.
So Jess, last night we saw two newbies come into the jungle. Quite an entrance with that grueling first task. What did you make of their performance?
I wouldn't call it grueling. I mean, they only had like rotten tomatoes thrown on them, and Russell definitely got the worst of the two.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little bit easy, to be honest with you, and I think all of the trials so far this year have been a bit too easy for them all. Just, you know, they seem to be like smashing through them. What did they get last night? 11 out of 12 stars.
Yeah.
I think, a bit too easy, but Russell was very good. He was a good sport, getting his head in there with the eggs. He chipped his tooth. He got that bang on his head. Yeah. I think Ruthie was definitely, she was easy peasy last night. She is an outsider to win, I must say. So she's got all the doing, to make it. But Russell, he's gone in there about 11-1, so he's all right so far.
So they sort of gone in there. Mix things up a bit. They're quite like a harmonious camp. We've got Lindsay here asking, I think Russell will get on people's nerves. How do you think they'll sort of mix with the camp, and could it sort of cause a bit of friction?
Well, that does tend to happen on I'm a Celebrity, doesn't it? Because even Vernon said yesterday, he was like, I'd be really upset if this was broken up at the moment. But they were always going to add people in. I think they knew there was 2 extra celebrities coming in, so it's not that much of a surprise for them. Will it change the dynamic of the group too much? I mean, they seem quite easygoing people. If it was someone like quite controversial coming in, who was really sort of like a bit, aggressive already, I think they might have something to worry about. But, as a 12, I think they'll all still be fine. I think what's going to happen is they need to start getting hangry, basically, because that's where the tensions will bubble. Whereas at the moment, it's all very nice. It's laughing and joking, and they're all like the best of friends, having the best time ever, which is good TV in one sense. But at the same time, you kind of want them to start getting a bit hangry with each other, because that's where the tensions are really going to start to bubble up, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a bit weird. We've seen them get really overly excited about garlic, and things like that, and a bit of bread. It's something like they've only been there a couple of days. I think it's a bit of an overreaction.
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well. And also, like, I feel like the food they might be getting away with so far this year, because in previous years in the jungle, when it's been in Australia, obviously, they had rabbit the other night, and they're all moaning about that. It's like rabbit's like a fairly normalish thing as a cuisine in the UK, in Wales. So they seemed a bit like melodramatic about that, I think. The eel, that did look rancid, in fairness. But yeah, I think they are being a little bit over the top at the moment with the food situation.
Yeah, definitely. So we've got Kim here asking, do you think there'll be any outside trials? So see, normally we see these big like spectacles. You've got you have like heights and different things, but they're also quite castle. I don't know, is there much room? What can they do?
Yeah, I think that's actually what this series is missing, because as much as the castle is fun and it's really refreshing to have something different, but it kind of makes it a little bit boring in a way, because you're right, some of the trials, especially even just walking across the drawbridge, sometimes that was quite a trial in itself for some of the celebrities, because they'd be going over like, oh my god. But yeah, I think the castle has its pros, but I do think a negative is the trials at the moment. And also, like, how are they going to do the final trial?
Yeah, I know.
That's obviously the highlight, isn't it, of the show? And I don't understand how they can recreate that.
No, I know. Yeah, they've got some sort of drawbridge or a moat. I don't know. Yeah, bit odd. So tonight we've got a trap door, and it's Jordan. So we'll take a little peek at that now.
Good luck, Jordan.
Thank you.
12 minutes to find 12 stars.
Okay. Oh God, what's that?
Okay, have a good look around.
So I've got to get them off.
Yes, release the stars.
I can't. I need to pull myself back. Okay, come on.
That's it.
Jordy.
That's it. Focus on that.
Come on, Jordy. Oh, that is absolutely horrific. Come on, Jordan. Come on. Don't think about it.
That's it.
Don't think about it. Happy place. Happy place. Stop.
They'll all fit.
No. Oh, I can't get them off.
Just keep working on them. Keep moving them up.
I've got it. Oh, come on.
So, I mean, this one looks quite good. So, much like you were saying, we've got Anne saying trials seem easy this year, but Jordan voted for it again. Do you think this one might be a bit harder? Will this break him?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Anne. I think the trials have been easy so far. Jordan looked like he was getting a bit panicky there, didn't he? When he's like, "It's not coming off," and Anne's like, "No, it is going to come off." But I think that's what you need, because again, they're winning all the stars, so they must be easy, unless the celebrities these days that they use are a lot more tougher and braver or something. But I don't think that's the case. I think they are a little bit easier, to be honest with you. I mean, Jordan, he'll probably do all right, but he's going to keep getting voted if he goes to his happy place and he makes good TV, he's getting airtime, he's going to keep getting voted. And that might actually become a little bit boring if he sort of has this big drama queen, like, oh, I can't do it, I'm so scared, I'm going to be sick. And then he goes in and he smashes it. I do think like fans may become a bit tired of that, whereas a few years ago, it's probably like a decade ago now, wasn't it? When Helen Flanagan, she got voted for every trial. She would just turn up to it and be like, guys, I can't do it today. Like, and then she'd go back to camp and be like, I really tried though. That was quite funny. Whereas I do wonder with Jordan, I don't think it's an act like some people are saying.
Saying that, yeah.
But, you know, he goes in like, oh my God, I can't do it, happy place. And then he does it. So it's like, well, okay, people might grow a little bit bored of that.
We've got Lindsay here saying, love Jordan. It's not for votes. I think he's genuinely scared. Begs the question why he's on here, but still love him. I mean, I think Liz Beverly Callard.
Yeah, Liz. I was like, Liz. Oh, I know who Liz is.
Gave it away. Like, so she was sort of hugging him last night when he got told, and she was like, "You're going to be a megastar. You're going to be a superstar."
Yes.
Did you think this part of sort of him to get a bit more popularity going in there?
Yeah, probably. There was also a really good throwaway comment as she was saying that. You could just hear Shane in the background going like, get the beans on then, get the beans and rice on, which I thought was quite funny, just to be like, I've got no faith in him if I'm not there, basically. Yeah, I did wonder that with Jordan when he's like, I'm scared of heights, I'm scared of snakes, I'm scared of spiders, I'm scared of this. You're like, how desperate are you for the money, like, to go on this show? That's what I never get with these celebrities. It's like, you must have watched the show. Maybe like Harry Redknapp was the only one who had probably never actually seen the show and really did believe that you'd get a bacon sandwich from like the caravan, like round the back of the jungle or something. But for the rest of them, you think they've probably watched it. They're well versed in what happens. So it's like, why have you gone on this show if you're so scared? Makes great TV though. So
yeah, definitely. And what if it's sort of with hasn't sort of Jordan sort of overtaken Shane now, that leapfrogged him as the front runner? Like, how's it sort of looking with the odds?
Yeah. Jordan is now the favourite. So he came into the jungle about 5-1, 6-1. I've got to be honest, when he was first announced, I had to Google him. I was like, who's Jordan North? But because I don't really listen to Radio 1 anymore, I think I'm a bit too old for that. So I was like, oh, it's him. I know who he is now. So yeah, he went in about 5-1, 6-1, and his odds have slowly come in. Shane was the favourite since he was announced he was going in. So it's a quite close two-horse race between the two of those chaps at the moment. Vernon Kay's odds have really come in. I think Vernon's doing really well. I was a bit dubious at first about Vernon because I thought in the first episode he was maybe trying a bit too hard to be sort of, you know, the cheeky chappy joker of the pack, but obviously that is his persona, and a bit like Shane, it's their livelihoods, isn't it? As presenters, they are these sort of like funny, happy-go-lucky presenters, so they can't really afford to be grumpy in there, I don't think. But yeah, I think Jordan, Vernon and Shane, it's probably one of those three that will be a winner this year. What about you? Who do you think will win?
Yeah, I have similar thoughts. I really liked Giovanna when she came in. I thought she'd do well, and she got good reception sort of on social media and stuff. But we've just not really seen enough of her.
No, she hasn't got enough airtime, has she?
No, like she's good value when we saw her doing the Castle Coin challenge the other day. But yeah, I think it's hard for a few of them in there. I know AJ's another one that's not really had a lot of time.
No,
struggling. Sort of, they need to come out their shells a bit more.
Yeah, it's a shame really, because at the moment it's like the Jordan and the Shane show, but there's obviously a reason for that, because they are being the funny people, so therefore they're getting the airtime because that's making the good TV. Whereas if the rest of them are just sort of like sat around chit-chatting, then that's not great TV to watch, is it, at the end of the day? AJ, I mean, he was quite quiet on Strictly though, really. He's just a bit of a nice guy. I don't really see him winning. I think Holly's probably getting on people's nerves a little bit after the first episode where she was like MBE and stuff. But yeah, I think definitely one of those three could win it.
So we got Patricia here saying, why haven't the girls done any trials? Want to see them? Yeah, it's a bit obviously Jordan's sort of taking over, but yeah, why? I don't know. Why do you think the public aren't really sort of engaged?
I mean, you vote for people to take part in the trial, so it's not actually a popularity contest in that sense, because if you didn't like Holly, for example, you would vote for Holly to do the trials. And people must find Jordan hilarious. I mean, the trial with Shane the other night with the snakes really was like, even my husband, who doesn't really watch this show, and he's always like, oh my God, you love it. And I'm like, yeah, but it's really, really funny show. It's just like nice to watch. Even he had like tears rolling down his face at like, happy place, Turfmore, like. And so many viewers of I'm a Celebrity, but like, Turfmore, what on earth is Turfmore? Like,
yeah, seeing that trending on Twitter and all the football clubs.
So I think that's probably why the women aren't getting voted in. But hopefully they'll at least get to do the coin, the daily challenges instead, and we'll get to see, because they're really funny as well.
Yeah. And so who do you think sort of will be the first to go then? Like as we were discussing, who's not really. But who sort of are you saying at the minute with the bookies is going to be the first to get the chop?
So the favourite to leave is basically like, if you looked at the betting market of your favourite to win, it's basically flip reverse it. It sounds very obvious, but that is what it is. So at the moment, Holly would be the favourite to leave. Then you'd be looking like Victoria, maybe Ruthie, only just because we haven't seen her yet in the show. So we'll have to see how she gets on. But I think probably like Victoria, she had a good episode last night, to be fair, like cracking the jokes. I mean, I found that really cringe. I had to I don't really do cringe humour, so I was putting my hands in my ears when it was going on. I was like, no, I can't listen to this, I can't listen to her tell this joke about Little. But fair play to her. She obviously, some people really like that. So I'd say probably in the moment, Holly and Victoria, they could be the ones that could be axed.
And who, if you were looking at a dark horse, like you were going to have like an outside bet, you think they could come through the ranks? Who do you think we should go for?
I think Beverly Callard by a million miles. I mean, I was talking to your colleague Jeffers about this the other day, and he made a very good point to me that she's going to get all of the Coronation Street votes, which I hadn't really taken into account of obviously how loyal soap fans are. And she's done incredible. She went from 25 to 1. She's now about a 10 to 1 shot. So her odds have more than halved. And I do think she got off a little bit easy the other night, though, with her fermented tofu, and gone off plums. I was like, I eat gone off fruit half the time because I haven't got round to like eating it. I've been like, oh, I'll be really healthy this week. Get all this fruit in it. And you're like, oh God, it's mouldy. All right, I'll delete it. Like, I think she got off really lightly with that trial, to be honest with you. I know Vernon said it smelled disgusting, but yeah, I think Beverly, I think she's probably the dark horse of the underdog of this series for sure.
Definitely. Well, you heard it here first. Jess, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And obviously, guys, watch the episode tonight and come back here tomorrow for another Facebook Live.